Hey everyone, so I want to do an experiment with the different kind of modifications that we can do to Claude 3 Haiku with an open router. So I have Haiku right here. This will be our chat window. I have what each message is going to cost us. And then also I'll show you the overall cost for today's session. And then I want to show you how you can actually change these up. So these are the basic default settings. So we've got max tokens, chat memory, temperature, top P, top K, frequency penalty, presence penalty, repetition penalty, main pin, top A. So let's look at each of these. And I'll go slow so that you can read the little bubble. Okay, and then last two. Alright, so I'm going to ask it for a little horror story. I'm not going to give it a lot of details so that it kind of comes up with its own thing. I want to see really what it does when we start playing with things. Okay, so that was the initial, it's kind of short. I'm going to take the exact same prompt. This time I'm going to max out my tokens. So we do get quite a bit more. We're still talking about tagging front porch. We're still talking about the mansion. Okay. I am going to clear the chat and do this again, just because I don't want it to think about the previous one. Alright, so we got something a little different. Okay. This one's not really going to be anything that would really matter right now for this experiment, just because we're only doing singles, but let's go to that. I'm going to clear the chat again. Okay. So we get something a little different still. I'm going to roll this down. It's going to reduce our predictability. Or, sorry, it's going to increase our predictability. So I'm going to clear the chat. I'm going to ask for the exact same thing. So not a lot of actual details. I could hear a sudden crash from the kitchen, a dark figure. I turned and ran. It's okay. It's not that great. Clear it. All right, let's do this one. And this one gave a lot more sensory details. See how each one starts with the sensory detail though? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and clear that. And this one's kind of in the middle. Let's play with it this way. And then we'll play with it the other way too. Alright. I'm going to just pause here, let you guys read it. And then we're going to try it this way. Alright. Clear that. Move this one back to here. This is what this one does. Alright, let you all read this one. Move it back there. That's kind of interesting. So the last time that I tried to have it do a short story that was like a little horror story, and I did post the video, it's Whispers in the Dark. So apparently it just likes the idea of Whispers in the Dark. Alright. Their chat, move it the other way. That's creepy. Clear the chat. I'm going to put it back kind of in the middle. I'm going to go all the way over on that one. Oh, now the whispers are coming from the wall. That's very creepy. Okay. And now the really creepy ghost is actually touching her. That is super creepy. Thank you, Haiku. Alright, I'm going to clear the chat. And let's do something. Let's increase this all the way. Let's just have it write a short horror story. I'm going to tell it that it's going to be a novel. And all I'm going to do right now is just have it continue on. And the only one that I really changed for this is the max tokens and the chat memory. So once we do this, I'm just going to tell it to please continue. But first, before we do that, let's see how much playing with the different ones. So this is the 22nd. Playing with them, as you can see, less than a penny each time. Start at 447. We're still at 447 because we didn't even spend a penny playing with it. But let's see what the cost is for just a basic horror story. I'm not going to give it an outline. I'm not going to do any of that. And this isn't something that we're going to be saving. So I just want to see if I maxed out the messages and I maxed out the tokens, what's the story going to look like? I'm going to tell it this, and then I'm going to tell it to please continue each time it stops. And I'll go slow too and let you guys read this when it's done. I do like horror novels and I like horror movies. I did just recently see the original 13 Ghosts too. I had no idea that there was an original one. I didn't like it as much as the newer one. The old one was more about like the people. The newer one was about the ghosts and the history, and I like that more. I saw that they were going to do a TV show too. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'll watch it. The reason that I asked it not to do something like Saw was because I didn't want it to throw a hissy fit thinking that I wanted something like torture, but I'm like, horror movies don't have to have torture in them. And so the experiment stopped at 11:33. That'll give us an idea of how much the actual book, whatever this is, cost to make. Okay, so are we just looping now? So malevolent intense. Malevolent intense. Okay, so we started looping. So, here, refresh. So less than a penny, still less than a penny. It's not as less than a penny as like down here, but it's still very cheap. So $4.47. Wow, it cost us 2 whole cents. That's why I really like Haiku. Alright, now I have to read it. I'm gonna go slow so that you can read it too if you want to. Be nice to have gotten some background. Like, why are they here? You know, was it a dare? Did they just inherit this creepy old place? Did their car break down and they were looking for a place to stay the night? Some background would have been good. Alright, so here's where it started to loop. Maybe not quite. No. It's more time. It really likes the whole malevolent intent idea. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and clear the chat. I'm going to clear the model. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this little challenge and this little playing with the different configurations and seeing what all we could do with it. It's definitely something to play with and something to have fun with in here. So I hope you all are having a good day, and let me know if you want to see anything else within Open Router. Pretty soon my next challenge will be doing a book completely in haiku. The idea would be haiku completely, then probably running it through Opus, and then what I'd also like to do beyond that is maybe run it through Mistral Large. It'll probably be a romance because that's what I write, but to get that electricity between the people and make it really visceral, I'll probably run it through Mistral. Just because if I don't do the whole thing, then it'll be like, PG, maybe PG-13, but then all of a sudden we're doing something that's not at all. So I'll probably run it haiku, Opus, Mistral Large. We'll see how much it ends up costing at each step. That'll take a little bit. I need to finish some of the other books first. Like the Best Friends book is still kind of half done. The Bodyguard romance is very much not done. And we'll go from there. So, thanks so much for watching.